Good evening. Welcome to a little speed gaming live after dark. It's the midnight Mario hour, and I have to make sure that I have the mainstream muted so that I'm not getting an awful echo. Hope everybody is having a good evening. Trenton here with you, and this is a race of the bracket phase between Dobbs and Owly. So this is a semifinals matchup. Dobbs got here off a bye as the number one seed. Alley earned his trip to this race via a win over Fruit. And we should see things rolling here pretty soon. They're going to play through 3 levels blind. They've not played these levels before you're seeing them race it. Then they will try to optimize their time, get it as fast as they can within 30 minutes. If you accomplish either task by more than 10%, then you earn a bonus point on top of the point for winning. Finally, they wrap it up phase 3 with endless play, and the most clears within 30 minutes wins. So this is going to be the Mushroom Plains. The Mushroom Plains, it's a very traditional style Super Mario World themed level. We got Mario versus Luigi going here. Dobbs, of course, taking the superior Luigi choice. Alley, well, okay, he's Mario. I mean, you can't hold any against anybody to play Mario in a Mario game. They are winding their way through a lot of enemies on screen, but a lot of paths available through this level. You can start to see it, and that is information they want for later on, as Allie's going to clear it just a hair before Dobbs. They will be wanting to consider these options, what might be the fastest way through. They've got time to scout the levels before they have to actually play them. Then we enter this. So one of the more recent updates to Super Mario Maker 2, it gave us these night themes, and the physics operate a little differently. So in Mario Brothers 1, we've got this low gravity physics going on here, and they are able to use that for a lot more height on the jumps, a lot slower fall of the character, and you navigate these spikes, bounce off the dry bones, off the platforms, and find your way through this level. Dobbs gets into the pipe first. Alley took that first death. Got checkpoint here. Oh, we have all the shenanigans, chat. Hope you are having a wonderful evening here. It has been an exciting day of racing here on Speed Gaming, and there is plenty more ahead this week you don't want to miss out on. This is semifinals of Mario Maker. It's a single elimination tournament, so the winner of this punches their ticket to the finals. Dobbs coming in as the top seed. Owly looking for grabbing the upset. Try to make sure I'm pronouncing that owl sound correctly. I have a tendency to rush it. I'm working on it. Dobbs up to the second checkpoint there. This is level 2 of the 3 blind levels. Owly now going to grab the checkpoint as well. They will take... they will go from here to phase 2, where they will be playing these same 3 levels and trying to optimize their time through it. So, think world record or bust. Right behind Dobbs is Alley, keeping it close. All comes down to this third level. Dobbs gonna get in there first. Now you can see it says 1, 2, 3. It's got the line through the 4 and that intro screen to teach you the gimmick of the level. On the 4th jump, the on-off switch is going to trigger. So it's doing that automatically. Totally out of your control. If you make the 4th jump, you are not going to complete the challenge. Dobbs just wrecking that section of the level, jumping over the piranhas. Owly doing the same. And they're both on to the next room. Blue platform, that one's going to have a minimum 3 jumps, so you've got to nail each and every one of them. Got the burners here, and your natural inclination is to kind of jump over the burners, but you don't really have the time. And then we're on to an SMB2 mushroom. So theme of it here, grab the chain chomp posts, throw them up to build your ladder. Dobbs doesn't like what he sees, so he goes for the reset. Only the chain chomps don't really reset. Or at least not quite as intended. And that's going to be a death for Dobbs. Now Allie with a little bit of a lead. And I've got a little bit of company here. How you doing tonight, Redbird?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well. So we're watching Allie versus Dobbs here. Building a bridge and finding out that there was a little bit of cheese there, and you could skip by building your entrance to the doorway.
Oh, wow. Crazy. Yeah, I just turned this on, so I'm kind of feeling my way through this right now. So I'm going to listen in a little bit, and then I'll pick up wherever you guide me.
All right, so next room involves getting this Super Ball. The theme of this level, you can only jump 3 times in any challenge room, or else the on-off switch changes, and then you die.
Fun stuff. Yeah, I've just dabbled in this game, so this is a lot of fun to watch. It's pretty cool.
These levels predominantly, usually the high end of normal, that is to say a low clear rate, but still in the normal range. Sometimes they're a little bit into expert, but they're designed to be interesting and fun challenges for our runners, and to have some room for optimizing the time.
Very cool. Looks like Dobbs is figuring this one out. Getting through the door. And Allie finishes up.
Yeah, so this was the third of the 3 levels. Owly was the first to complete it. So now the question is, will his time hold up for more than 10%? Although on 6 minutes, that's a good bit of time. But if he wins by more than 10%, he gets an extra bonus point.
Very cool. Dobbs is not far behind. This last room was pretty quick, too. Let's see.
Yeah, so this one's deceptively simple. You just have to make sure you've cleared the way for that shell to get through.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you only get 3 jumps, so you need exactly those 3 jumps. And you cannot jump over the circus balls that Lemmy is firing. So you have to climb under them and beat the P-switch timer. And that will be the clear for Dobbs. A little bit faster for Allie, good enough to take down the first point in Phase 1.
Very good. So how much of this have you played, sir?
Well, as a matter of fact, I did most of the level screening for these.
Oh, did you really? Very cool.
These levels.
Nice. How did you fare in that one?
We made it happen.
Truth, tell the truth.
Let's just say I wish I had had another 2 weeks on this project.
A lot better. I'd be on the first screen still, so we'd be all right there.
So generally speaking, if you look at these levels, you'd see I cleared them because I was trying to make sure we were giving our runners quality.
Sure.
That said, we're on to Phase 2, so they're replaying the same 3 levels, but now they're trying to do it as quickly as they can. They're trying to optimize their time, and they can replay the level as many times as they want to, but they have 30 minutes to budget for all 3 levels.
So where would your strategy change attacking it this way now?
Well, you've played through the levels once, so you have a general idea how they play, but you've got one that's a little bit longer, that's Space Bones level. The jump level, you could probably do a little bit to optimize it, but I feel like that one's got the least amount of room. Mushroom Plains, though, has a lot of paths through it, so there's a lot of room to work with that one.
Gotcha.
Generally, you see players like to stick to one level at a time instead of bouncing around because they're building up that muscle memory
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
trying to stay familiar with it. Of course, you've done plenty of speed running and understand the importance of that muscle memory.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to get things as natural as possible so your brain can work on the difficult stuff, make everything else go easy. And if you start one level and switch over to the next one and stuff, I can see how that would be a problem for sure in this game.
Chad asks if Allie is drinking from a 2 liter like a boss. I don't know if this is any less boss, but I think it's only a 1 liter.
Either way, a 1 liter, 2 liter doesn't matter. He's doing it like a boss. Now tell me about Ali and Dobbs. Who do we have here? Who am I watching here?
Well, Dobbs is coming in as our number 1 seed. We had the seeding round that was played Saturday, and that was a question of clear the most levels you can within 30 minutes.
Okay.
Dobbs, I think, got to 16. I'm just rolling that from memory.
Sure.
Allie was not that far behind, something like 14, but out of only 8 people, that bumped you down a few spots. So Allie came in as the 4 seed, Dobbs is the 1 seed.
Gotcha. Are these
But
guys,
Allie,
purely runners, or do they create as well?
I don't think anybody participating has. Well, I'll say they're not well-known level makers. I'm never sure when somebody has a level up, and not to knock anyone, but none that I would really know offhand as a level maker. All right, so they're readying up at this point and then about to take off with 30 minutes. You can already see they've eyed 2 different levels to start with. Allie is going for the Space Bones levels. That's that low gravity Mario Brothers 1 level. Dobbs is eyeing the jump, which you have to do everything within 3 jumps.
Mm-hmm. Are they able to look at each other's screens?
Can
Can you watch?
can in this because it's not a randomizer, so there's no spoilers to anything.
See, I
But
think that's where the strategy comes in. If you've got one that has like a lot of different optimization, you could do like the longer level. If you watch the other person go through it while you're doing the other one, might help you out a little bit on making decisions.
see, now there's a little meta from Dobbs. He's zoomed in from the more info screen to
Mm-hmm.
look and see it as possible paths there. It's 100% allowed. It doesn't count against him. Anything you can metadata, if you will, from the info screen, that's allowed. What they can see is that scoreboard in the middle. So they'll be able to tell if they're who's got the lead on any given level.
Gotcha.
And that's probably the most important piece of information that is available to them. What we found at last year's SG Live is even sitting side by side next to each other, they
Mm-hmm.
almost never looked at each other's screens in Mario Maker.
I mean, you
They
are
had
so
to so
like,
focus on what they were
yeah,
doing.
you're so engrossed in what you're doing, it's tough to look over for sure. I mean, I come from the Z1R background where it's like you look over and oh, the silvers are in level 7. I guess I know where to dig. You know, that type of thing. It's not the same thing in Mario Maker where it's
Right.
pure platforming in action and there's only a couple ways the paths can diverge.
You know, occasionally somebody comes up with a really good strat, and you talk about tents making all the difference. So, one
Mhm.
damage boost, one jump over this guy. These things do add up. This dry bones level though was one of my personal favorites to find. It's it's a fun challenge. I promise you it looks easier than it is. It's just this gentle flowing motion, but you've got to be pretty on point with your directional inputs to guide Mario correctly.
Are they like moon physics going on here, or what am I looking at?
They're low gravity physics.
Very cool. Very cool. Oh my gosh, Dobbs is having a couple little issues there trying to get through as fast as possible on his screen.
And
Nice screen finale.
that's part of the routing is you're going as fast as you can, you're seeing what kills you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you adjust to whatever killed you to try and not have it kill you the next time.
Yeah, that's the second time that gap has got him. So he's got to figure out a way to get through that jump because that Koopa dude is just hanging out in the worst possible spot for him once he gets over that little bridge. Right here.
Now, there's a couple things going on. There's power ups they're not getting, and there Dobbs takes a damage boost. He got a power up from touching the checkpoint, but
Hmm,
usually you see runners skip the checkpoint when they're trying to optimize and skip the power ups. So they're trying to do it all as small Mario, and they can't take a hit.
Sure, sure. At what point do you say, okay, I just need to chill out, go grab a power up? You know, it takes me 5, 10 more seconds, but I'll be alive to finish up.
In one like this, you're probably not wanting to do any strat that gives up a second.
Gotcha.
So that they really are going to want to stay away from the power ups, and Dobbs does it right there.
So now he's thinking, okay, is this time good enough to go on, or does he have the full 30 minutes for this section?
He's got 30 minutes to budget between the three levels. He's
Forgot.
got a world record, so obviously a good time, but also the muscle memory is fresh.
Mhm.
So if you feel there's room to improve, maybe you want to go right back in and do it there.
Yeah,
Instead, he is on to the Space Bones level that Allie is on.
yeah, I love the strategy that all that has come in play. Ali's finished this, hasn't he? So he's come back through it to try to improve his time.
Right now he doesn't have a completion in this phase.
Okay, gotcha.
Now, sometimes you get to the end, you're not happy with it, and you just go ahead and start over because actually touching the goal and sitting through the animation, that just eats up your gameplay time.
Yeah, for sure. Makes sense. We have a friend request here from Ben, it looks like. I don't know if Alex is going to accept that in the middle of the race.
Probably not. A little more important stuff going on.
But shout outs to Ben for hopping on. Might be past Ben's bedtime. He needs to go to bed.
A world record for Owly, so now he's got a completion and a very good time put up on this level, obviously.
So it looked like Dobbs was trying not to ride that elevator all the way down and jump over. He was trying to just squeak through there by jumping off to the side. He knows now he can't do that, so he does have to ride that all the way down.
It may be a case of he didn't remember exactly where that cutoff is, but anytime you can just fast fall, that's actually going to be where the most time save is in this level. Because going up, you have to do it as slow as you can. But falling, you can let go of the jump button and fall much faster.
The coins there do anything for him or no? Oh,
They're an indicator. They're the level maker trying to make this not so blind. You can see they used a lot of arrows here.
Yeah, for sure.
This was just good level design. They wanted it to challenge at you. They didn't want it to be an unfair challenge.
Yeah, right here, I think he tried to slip off instead of riding that all the way down. He rode that down a little further this time. Looks like it's going to work out well.
And there he's able to ditch the elevator and fall a bit faster into the pipe. So that's exactly what he's trying to do. Little optimizations make all the difference.
Oh, he missed his ride there at the end of that level. Oh, and Dobbs has got a restart here. I think, like you said, though, that muscle memory, this is one level I would not want to go back to because the platforming, the precision is so, on Dobbs' side, it is so specific because of the anti-gravity. I think you'd want to ride this one all the way out and complete it and never come back to this one.
Of course, anyone who has played any significant number of Mario Maker 2 levels knows that those spike hitboxes are extremely unforgiving. A good question in chat: are the runners allowed to check up on each other? So the biggest thing that they see is that scoreboard that's in the middle. They both have access to it. They know exactly what levels the other runner is on, where they're behind. So they both see... in Ali's case, he's looking over. He's seeing Dobbs has done Mushroom Plains first. He hasn't turned in a time yet, so it's still showing as 2. Meanwhile, Dobbs, he looks over, he sees that Ali has completed Space Bones, and maybe that's why he decided to do this one next. So this is Mario Maker 2, Dobbs versus Allie. This is a semifinals matchup, so the winner of this is on to the finals.
It's the second time Dobbs has fallen to that spike right there. He's trying to jump off a little too quick right there, and he needs to be able to clear that platform.
That's another thing that Nintendo could give us a little more quality of life is speed up the death animations, but
Oh, for sure.
30 minutes, we've still got plenty of time. It's like, if you ever see the difference in, say, a Super Mario World ROM hack versus
Mhm.
Mario Maker, it's so much faster to go back in and make new attempts. And here's completion for Dobbs. Let's see how this stacks up.
Did he beat Allie's time? That's the question.
134.5. I don't have the actual time Allie put up in front of me, but as I recall, Allie set the world record there, so that's what he's competing against.
Yeah, so he's got to find 13 seconds to shave. So in his mind, he's going, okay, do I have 13, 14 seconds here, or do I just move on and give up these 2 points? It's rough. It's a tough choice because, I mean, this is time committed. This is a long level. It takes forever.
There's a little bit of lag on that scoring just because the time has to actually be entered, so he may only be down by 1 point right now.
Gotcha.
It's 2 points if you beat your opponent by 10%. So, runners of this caliber, it's hard to stick that 2 up on the board.
For sure. Allie is finishing up this level over here, so he's going to get another 2 points now just because there's been no completion on Dobbs' side.
Yeah,
He doesn't
that
have
was
to play defense on that middle one, Space Bones, yet, so he's probably going to go to Mushroom.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be said for going ahead and getting a time up on each level, and that's 2 world records for him now.
Very good. So I think
You know you've run pretty fast if you've done a world record. You haven't necessarily optimized it completely, but you at least know you were competitive.
definitely.
Question in chat, how did Allie get the 2 points in Endless Expert? I think that's actually a question of Dobbs' time hasn't been entered in the leader board yet. Question in chat, can you jump out of a level if you don't like the one you're working on and you want to do something else? You can spend your 30 minutes however you want to. So they can move around levels any given time. The only disadvantage is, like we've been talking about, that muscle memory. You're used to where things are. It's one thing to remember where that Galumba is there when you're going right back in. 20 minutes from now, are you going to remember that Galumba is there? Probably not.
It's pretty cool watching that thought process go on in Allie's head right now, trying to decide how to attack this level the best. Because you can see him kind of pathing it in his head and saying, okay, is this going to work? Is this going to work? And attacking things different. He did get through that first section a little cleaner now. It's small Mario, so he's got to either have big Mario there because he's not going to squeeze through the top, or go down to the bottom route. See which way he goes this time.
Yeah, and he could theoretically get the bounce there and get over that Koopa, but the timing, he was just a little bit short on the jump to make that work.
Mm-hmm.
This level, it gave you routes, but finding which one is exactly the best, there's some well-placed enemies to slow you down.
Yeah, I'm loving this level that Allie's on right now that Dobbs beat the first time. It's really cool. Like you said, very well-placed enemies, good challenges, a lot of platforming.
Yeah, this is what I would call a more traditional more traditional style level, if you will. Like,
Right.
this wouldn't be a crazy World 7 or World 8 level in any Mario game, really. Dobbs has a clear,
All right.
and that's a world record.
So takes over the point from Allie in that one. So we're at 3 points to 2 in this section currently. Is he going to go to the jump level, or is he going to try to increase that to 2-0? He's going to jump.
He was, I believe, the first to find that little bit of cheese that this level had. But how fast you do this matters. Right down to getting into that first door. The fewer jumps you can take, the better. The faster you can get from one platform to the next, the better. Again, this one was pretty good about actually offering a couple ways to approach the challenge. And another world record. I think that's our 4th or 5th world record we've seen between these two so far.
Takes the 2 points back from Dobbs on Mushroom Plains 1-1.
Yeah, that's a dominating performance at this point. From this point on, if you see somebody take the 2-point lead, they have done a tremendous effort.
Mm-hmm. Dobbs is trying to put up a time right now and jump. They still got about 18 minutes left, 18 and a half minutes, you see. So plenty of time here. It's going to be kind of cool to see the back and forth that goes on between these 3 levels here. Allie right now, I believe what he's trying to do is he's trying to find anywhere in the beginning game, because if you're going to commit any muscle memory when you're doing a level like this or any type of game, you want it to like focus on the first part, right? Because the middle, the end, or whatever, you may not ever get there when you're trying to optimize. But the very beginning, if you can squeeze frames out of the beginning, you can do that every single time you go back through, and then you're going to find a run that's just kind of a golden run for you because you've done the first third of the game or the quarter of that level through muscle memory, through saving the frames early. And that's what he's trying to do right now. Is he's trying to squeeze everything out of the first part that he can.
In particular, as weird as this sounds, he's looking to hold the jump button as little as he can. When you hold that jump button, Mario will jump noticeably slower, and that's true in every Mario game you've ever played. Even if you didn't realize it, Mario is always falling slower if you're holding the jump button. It's very exaggerated in these low-gravity physics. So, here, he's holding it, maybe he let it go a little bit. He's holding it all the way there. He tried to let it go a little bit there, and he ended up shorting the jump.
Yeah, you can tell by him landing short there, he's doing exactly what you're talking about.
But anytime he can let go of that jump button on the descent, he's going to fall a little bit faster. So that's your biggest room for time saving in this level, is how little you can slow fall and fall a more normal Mario speed, which is still going to be slow in these low gravity physics, but...
Course clear on Dobbs' side. 2 seconds short of the world record there on that side, so he's going to go back to it.
And it's a pretty quick level, so 2 seconds is still fairly significant.
Mm-hmm.
The Dry Bones level is by far the slowest of the 3, and we kind of tried to balance that and make sure even if you're seeing a pretty fast level in the mix, that you're also getting a pretty slow level in the mix. So there's a risk-reward factor for the runners to consider.
Man, it's very, like you said, optimized movement right now that he's trying to do with those jumps and holding jumps and how long to hold jump.
And what can really get you is... I'm actually of the opinion that the sprite artwork doesn't line up for those spikes versus what the hitboxes are. In particular, they are noticeably wider than you would expect. So you don't want to cut these... You want to cut these jumps short to save time, but for safety, you want as much clearance from those spikes as you can get.
Dobbs at the very end of this level over here, so let's see if he was able to cut a couple seconds out.
There, Allie was finessing that falling speed a little bit. He was letting it go and pressing it again so that he was managing it either way. And then he tried to see if he could cut that platform out. I don't think he could there because he needed it to launch himself again.
And he did. Dobbs does take over the lead in the jump one. You can see now the times there, 60 seconds, 0.24 compared to 62.73 from Allie. So it takes a point back over there. It's now 2-2 between the 3. Let's see where Dobbs is going to go back to. And he's going to go back to Mushroom Plains 1-1 to try to take that 2 points. Either make it a 1 on Dobbs' side or on Allie's side, or take over 1 or 2 points himself. And has control of 2 of the 3 categories currently.
Yeah, that's big. If you can take any kind of lead into the endless phase, it's huge because you have the same amount of time. You know you're against a player of at least comparable skill. To
Mhm.
have 1 or 2 clears worth in the bank into that phase 3 is so huge. But, obviously, that's where the most room is to make bank, so choosing your levels wisely in that phase 3 is gonna be so important. But, obviously, the more you do now, the more comfort you have in that phase.
Mhm. It's crazy right now is 24 seconds to 22. You talk about that 10%. Dobbs needs what, a quarter second right now, half a second just to make that a 1, and you'd have a 2-to-1 lead in this section of this, so
Yeah,
he just needs a half second here.
and it's a case of a point saved is a point earned. You don't wanna give up anything that you don't have to give up.
He wants more, of course, but he definitely wants this half second.
That'd be probably the toughest call you could make is just say, okay, I don't have the lead on this, but my time is better spent elsewhere. And I'm not sure where his time would be better spent right now. Is it better spent trying to get a 2 up on this? Does he have another level where he thinks he has more of an advantage? This really kind of felt like Dobbs's level of the 3.
Yeah, it really did, I agree completely.
It's the one we saw him scout on the mini map before we started. He started on it. He put up a strong time and a world record right away. Let's see
This
his
this is
clear
a pretty good
stacks up.
time here, I think, on Dobbs' side. That was fast.
22-3.
So he does do what we were talking about. He got that half second, quarter second, or whatever to make that 2-1. So he's currently leading this section, still down 3 points to 2, going into Endless Expert if things were to end as it is right now.
That puts him one clear in endless closer, just for having defended his time here. Now he's got the chance to pull it even.
Yeah, another half second, and he flips that, right? So he's kind of pot committed. I think Alley's put so much time into the space bones, he has to improve his time because you can't walk away right now. 12 minutes away. I mean, that's plenty of time to go somewhere else and improve it or whatever, but you put so much time into this. You don't want to go back. This is your run right now.
The jump level is about a minute, so you're talking a 20-second difference between the levels. Yeah, you could throw some more tries on there, but I really do think this one has the most room to optimize. So I fully understand the play because this is probably the most likely level that you could put up a 2.
And just as we said that, Alley's bouncing. Where's he
Well,
going?
he's behind in 2 of the 3, so yeah, this is the only other one he could go to. I don't think he go back to Mushroom Plains.
No, no, no.
It's the shortest, but you already have the lead there anyways. Maybe if Dobbs took the lead, you would consider going back, but that's a great time. Try and get your point back over here.
The problem right now with the jump one is for a full run of it, you only have 10 shots here. So even if he gets halfway through, you've got 20 shots to optimize this. So you're probably sitting somewhere in there, 12, 13, 14 if you use all of your time right now on this run right here.
Now the good news is I feel like that first room is one of the most important to optimize. Like just getting in there because you got to get the 4 jumps in.
Mhm.
Getting those in, getting him to count because Mario has to actually go high enough for them to count. Uh, it was This is well designed, but there is a little bit of space there where Mario jumping will not register. So you have to get those right. You have to manage these burners. And then this is the place where I'm not really sure if we know which way is more optimized because there's the cheese strat and then there's the intended strat. And there basically Ali did both. Okay. I think the reason to do it the intended way is not so much that room, but it is the next room. Because as I'm looking at that, you'd have to do 8 jumps to make that work out. If you're flipping them red, you're not getting the Super Ball flower that you need. So then it becomes necessary to jump and get the blocks to flip again.
Right.
So that's just lost time. Files in chat says this is a neat format. Thank you. This is the same format we used last year, although actually I think we did 5 levels in the first phase and then 3 in the second.
So I think Dobbs is committed on the left side to getting a power up and holding that power up to damage boost later. Right here, he's trying to keep this entire way through so he can damage boost on one of the high platforms and get through the second one fast enough. So he missed it right there. So he's trying to go through and damage boost through that first one and then use the iframes to get through the second one.
That's a tough call because he's got 2 things. Not only does he have to maintain the power up to get there, but he's got to then duck jump because he's Big Mario instead of Small Mario.
Right.
So he needs to have half the hitbox to get through there. Chat would like us to go over the format again. So part 1, they played 3 levels that were blind to them. They had never played those 3 levels before, and they were the 3 levels that we're playing right now. Here in phase 2, they revisit those levels and try to put up the best time on each level that they can. If you have the best time for the level, you win a point. If you have the best time by more than 10%, you get a second point. In phase 3, they're just going to play endless expert level, and the most every clear is a point. So that part gets really easy to score.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, this room just seems so difficult.
Yeah, Allie having a little trouble figuring out how to quickly get that momentum right for stacking the chain chomp stumps.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got to finish over here on Dobbs' side. Did he take the point? Looks like he did with the 21.43. So Dobbs now controls all 3 levels. Doesn't have more than 10% on any one of them. So that's why you see only the 1 point instead of the 2. But if things finished as they are right now, he would have a 3-2 lead going into the final stretch.
I think he's got to stick with this one because you're talking about maybe 4 attempts on any other level versus this one. It's 10 or 12 tries you could squeeze in because there's screen loading times, so it's not just the time of the level.
Right. Well, he's thinking of the 10%. If I'm going to gain 10% on any level, I'd rather do it on the shortest one. He only needs 2 seconds here, whereas in Space Bones he needs 8 seconds, and Jumpy needs 6. So knowing that, can he improve those other 2 in the amount of time he has left by 6 and 8? Probably not. But this one by a second and a half, maybe. I think that's where he's looking at right now. Plus, if he just improves by half second or a quarter second or whatever, he could defend just that 1 point if Allie decides to go to Mushroom Plains just to get that point back.
Coming down to the closing minutes of this, each of the runners trying to position themselves as well as they can. They're both familiar with this format, how it works. They know the most ground is there to be made on expert, but the better your score, the less you need of those levels. And that could really change your selection of levels.
Yeah, for sure.
In particular, do you go for a higher clear rate or do you go for a lower time? Because you may see a 10-second speedrun level, but if it's going to take it 30 attempts, is that really better than a 2-minute that's you're 5 times more likely to clear?
Right, exactly. Looks like he's going to go back to Space Bones and try to take a second or 2 off this one to defend this one a little bit more, insulate it more from Allie. I don't think you're going to get the full 8 seconds. He's got to put up a 74 in this to get the 10%. So I don't think you'll see a 2 on this side. I think he's just trying to make sure this one doesn't switch.
He may also know that this is the one Owly is working on, or was working on, and maybe if he feels he can get this time a little lower, he can defend it that much better. I think we actually did that. I'm going to call it the stump room because it's a chain chomp stump that it attaches to. was to actually only stack the 2, but you do it in a staircase format so that you can stand on the second one and enter the door. And then that cuts off a jump where you would need to get on top of another one to be able to throw it.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that room. What's exactly happening and preventing him from moving on there?
Well, there's 2 ways you can complete it, and we were talking about this already. By the way, I haven't mentioned specifically that this is the Mario Brothers 2 mushroom, so it gives you the Mario Brothers 2 physics in Mario Brothers 1 style.
Gotcha.
But that right there is the catch, is if you come through, if you flip it to red in the other room, you can flip it back to blue here, but it takes longer to get that power up, which you need to ignite the bomb.
And Allie's saying, no thanks. I'm going to go back to the shortest one we have. Try to save. It's got to save 7/10 of a second, 6/10 of a second here. Going to be rough, but it can be done. I mean, there was a little optimization at the end of the level that Dobbs didn't do, and he was trying to, but kind of gave up on.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the pressure has gotten to him a little bit here, that he didn't just commit to one place, which I feel like would have been the better play, would be just to commit to your bit.
Yeah, I mean, going down, to the last one, down 3-2 isn't a huge deal, but yeah, you start so strong, you had a 2-0 lead, or 4-0 or 4-1 it was at one point, and then now you're down 3-0. It's a little rough for sure.
And he knows who he's up against in Dobbs, who, when we were doing weeklies here, was also very much a force on those. And it was no accident to see him as the number 1 seed coming into the bracket phase. So you're looking for any advantage you can get.
That was pretty fast. Let's see what we got here.
7, so that would have been 22 and change.
Needs to find a second. I think that Dobbs had that routed correctly going up through the top. He could just never make it happen. He couldn't get past the second one with the iframes that he was trying to.
This level has that nice feature in that the checkpoint does give you the power-up. It's the fastest way you could get a power-up, because you can trigger the mushroom. There's other power-ups in this level. There's a Yoshi, there's a cape, there's all sorts of things. But there's not really time to grab them. If you grab them, you won't really save anything later on.
All right, Dobbs does finish jump over here. Let's see what his time is. Again, you got to take off 6 seconds from Allie's time, so he needs to have a 56 or less.
New world record. That'll do it.
Yeah. I was looking at jump. We're on space bones, aren't we? He needs 8 seconds off that, so 74. So he needs another 4 seconds. Like I said, I don't think he's going to find another 4 seconds, but stacking up these world records here. I promise I can read.
Hey, it's after midnight. Anything goes. It's even almost after midnight for you.
Truth. I know, right? Get this ping. Hey, get on. Hey, get on SG commentary. All right. Done.
Appreciate it.
Let me get a Pop-Tart. No problem.
All right. So they get to finish the attempt of the level they're on. That's more significant for Dobbs here than it is for Allie, who could probably get one more attempt after this one started. But Dobbs, this is in all likelihood his final attempt.
Yeah.
In fact, with screen loading times, this is probably it for both of them. So better make the run count. That's pretty smooth up to the checkpoint. He's still got the power up here.
See, going top route right there. That's where Dobbs was taking that intentional hit and then using the iframes through the second one just so he doesn't stop. Because if you go through the bottom or the middle, you got to fall down that corridor, which costs time. You're not moving right, you're moving vertical. And so what they were trying to do, what Dobbs was trying to do is, if I can go top, I never have to fall down without moving right. And so he was never able to fully make it work. He had to go middle route a couple times, and I think on the one that he finished it was middle route, but that's the way to do it.
And Allie had that last run killed by the Koopa. The Koopaling got actually shot out of the shell, and he ended up getting a second jump off of it, which is something you'll see intentionally in some Kaizo levels, but
Sure.
not intentional here because it slows us down.
Right.
Also, chat says missing words is just speedrunning reading. So
I appreciate it.
just keeping with the theme of speedrunning.
Thank you.
Question in chat: who curates the levels for this? There was a team, but most of it was me. I don't like to self-brag. Most of this was so endless expert.
You have to continue that with I beat all 3 of the times that you see on the screen right now. So
No. No, I assure you that was not the case, nor would it be. Endless Expert is going to be next, so you have to be careful about many things. Now, this is one I've gone back and forth in, and I'm not sure which way is better. Allie's going to start from a new game, and Dobbs is going to be continuing his current game. Advantage for Dobbs is he's got lives in the bank. He's not going to game over from a loss of life trying to anything in particular. Allie has to start with just those 15 lives, and if the game is rough to you at the beginning, you can burn through those 15 lives.
So you can come in with a preloaded save file?
Right, it's just going to be how many you clear from here. So once the timer starts, it's however many clears you get, so it doesn't really matter. But Dobbs is going to be slowed down every time he clears a level because there's going to be this little animation saying you have a new high score. Allie won't see that, so he technically can get from one level to the next faster.
Does the game actually mold harder levels the further you are, or is it just completely random based on expert?
It's random based on expert.
Okay, I wasn't sure how it's set up.
Or Nintendo random if you prefer.
Touche.
Now, there's things it does theoretically to benefit you, like makes it less likely you're going to see a booed level versus a level that's got likes on it. But Expert runs an interesting range. You get some very challenging levels that maybe haven't been played enough to get properly filtered into Super Expert. You get some easier levels where they're actually normal difficulty, but just some people have had trouble with them so far, and they got bumped up into Expert. Also, because these aren't planned levels by any stretch, you can see some more challenging stuff. You can get some Kaizo going on in here, and if our runners are up for that, they're free to take on the challenge. We didn't do any of that in the selected races, so that it's theoretically a more even playing field.
You know what'd be interesting would be I love this format, but one tweak that I can see is now Allie's behind. So you would have Allie start the 20 minutes on his, going through them, and then you write down the codes of everything that he did, and then you give them over to Dobbs. You have the time to input the codes, I guess, would be the only problem, but then they play the exact same ones, knowing how many Allie did, and you've got this certain amount of time to get through, blah, blah, blah. But the code problem, I guess, would be the issue.
Yeah, I see what you're going for, but you'd have significant downtime in between. Also, there'd be the question of what if Dobbs wanted to play one of the levels that Allie skipped?
Oh, yeah, because you've got that free will there. You're not forced.
But yeah, like I said, there's things may have been different if I had had another couple of weeks, but
oh no, this is
using the same format as last
this
year.
is blowing me away. This is better than a lot of the tournaments that I see. This is great. I love this format. We're off. Let's go.
Here we go. New Super Mario Brothers on one side. Is this a combination lock here or something? Super Mario World on the other side, maybe a little straightforward.
I can't. It's too
Out there.
two different things at once.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Dobbs's level.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
he's skipping. He said, "Peace out."
two
This doesn't
things.
look too bad on Ali's side currently until that. Oh, he's got to get that back to
He skipped a
that
platform. He's
platform.
maybe trying to recover, just get some speed for the jump.
I
But
don't
that
think
all
that one's too bad. He's got to do
first
it.
place for that.
Yeah.
So there's two things they can look at as soon as they're in a level that may help them. One is the actual clear rate. I'll say I'll edit myself and say three things. The actual clear rate, the world record time is a big piece of information, and the other is what kind of likes does this level have? That is to say, is this getting liked by 80% of the people playing it? Has it only been liked one or two times in 1,000 playthroughs? Then it may not be a good level. But that's a first clear for Allie.
Yeah, very nice. He decided to just use that cape, and it looked to be very much an auto scroller, not an auto scroller, but a very slow moving one in the middle. He said, "Nope, I got a cape. I'm just going to go ahead and go around all this stuff," and he is the first one to put a point on the board.
And that quick decision making matters. So he had seen that cape the first time. He'd gone on without it, but then he saw where he could get a benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
3D world, little long jumping here across the lava.
Doesn't look too bad yet.
And landing on one block gaps never feels good to me.
All right, Dobbs on the other side was able to get through, kept the POW block too. Allie puts another point on the board as well. All right, we got a little tight one here. This is nice.
Good start to both runners.
Mhm.
I figure if you do a clear every 2 minutes, you've had a really good pace.
Just don't see like a puzzle level or something pop up.
And those can be tough because maybe it's not even that hard of a level, but it's going to take that long. Allie looks like he's got a speedrun tech level, but one with a very forgiving timer.
Oh, it's a pick a path here for Dobbs.
This is actually a multiplayer versus level, so it's designed for the 4 characters to run on identical courses.
Oh my gosh. So
But that is
really,
not an easy one.
might not be bad. Oh, that just assures them all to start on the same timer. I gotcha.
Yes. Allie having a little trouble getting the triple jump here. You gotta have enough momentum to clear the spikes.
This is where, like you said, just tearing through your lives matters.
Now here's where knowing that world record is a little forgiving, you've got time to make sure you make that jump. You don't have to give up on it right away. You can line it up to work for you, and that was the whole level. So
Not bad.
again, that's one where I'd say that's a normal difficulty level that just creeped its way into expert, but you'll take that.
Dobbs starting this one over. I think he's kind of feels pot committed to this one. He's got to be close, in a multiplayer. We played a couple of these as a family, and they're usually not that long. My kids love these multiplayer ones. They love the ones that you can mess with each other, though. That's the that's the ones they usually pick for us.
I imagine a number of people have never even seen the inside of the level because somebody just keeps jumping into the on-off switch
Right.
and not letting you get down.
What? Hold on. Who made chompers? How did that come about?
It's 3D World, man. It's clear for Dobbs.
What is going on with that?
That's 3D World for you. Things get different.
Yeah, I can tell by this level. Holy cow. Get in there.
And they're flying, so the POWs don't work because that'll only kill them in the air.
All right, 15 minutes left, guys. We are all tied up at 5.
So Allie has done what he needs to do so far, getting the advantage on the clears, but he needs to get one more.
My gosh, the pressure of seeing 2 or 3 seconds of a level and having to decide if you're going to play it or not. Because if you play something for 30 or 45 seconds and you're like, nope, I'm out, you've just wasted that time. So there's a lot of pressure in the first few seconds that they're seeing these.
Yeah, Allie, a little trouble there is the piranhas go jumping in the air.
This is like a nightmare on Dobbs' side right now. I don't think I would want to play anything that looks like this.
A lot of Goombas to kill. I think the biggest difference is all the power-ups. There are plenty of fire flowers to keep your efforts fueled.
You gotta hope you don't need the fire at the end now.
One big thing, though, is anytime you see a clear condition, you want to keep in mind that there will not be a checkpoint available in the level, so you have to clear everything in one shot. You gotta be sure you're comfortable with that.
Whew!
There it is.
Nicely done by Dobbs.
So that's 3 apiece, if I'm right, on the endless phase so far.
And Allie finishes one there. Very nice.
Well, can't have a tie for long. Ties are meant to be broken.
That's right.
20 seconds speed run for Dobbs. Now, you're probably not upset about seeing a speed run level because they're fast to do attempts for. But how good of a speed run level is the question.
Right.
And that may not be the best one that Dobbs has found.
And how tight is that timer? What was the world record on this one?
I think it has a second, which, depending on how it's formatted, that's not necessarily a bad thing. On this one, I would say that's probably a pretty tight one. Whew. Well, never mind. It just...
Well done over there.
So you had 3 seconds to spare.
Probably going through more of a typical, what is it, Super Mario World? New Super Mario World?
New Super Mario Brothers would be the... Yeah, it's...
Deciding to skip it.
It had several variations that look within this style, but the base of it is New Super Mario Brothers. And welcome, folks, coming in from Speed Gaming. You're enjoying a little Mario Maker here. We're coming down to the wire on this with just 11 minutes to go if they don't go into overtime. Ooh, a Link level.
Yeah, I'm down with this one.
Really good.
Let's go.
Dobbs has got a pretty technical speedrun level on his side, but it's only 10 seconds, so there can't be that many challenges to it.
Just looks like it's teaching you all the weapons over here on Allie's side. Well done by Dobbs, yeah, for sure.
A couple of very precise jumps, but it's a very short level, so he knew he could do it. And he did. Now he's got the lead, and Allie's got to be feeling the pressure to get it clear here as quick as he can.
Yeah, this level doesn't seem bad. It just seems like, okay, here's Link. Here's all the things he can do. Just go do them fast.
Timer's not a threat, but now he knows to just run through that section, and you really want to put up your shield on that's when the spike is coming for you. Clown car level for Dobbs. So these have a habit of being a little more prone to skipping the level as intended.
Mm-hmm.
Dobbs is maybe seeing how much he can get away with.
I think he's got to finish it too as a certain character. So I think that he's right now just trying to see
the SMB2 mushroom.
Yeah.
But he lost that in a mid-air collision, so he's trying to find if there's another power-up or if he's got to carry the one from the start.
Right. Little trolling. Allie's skipping again.
And that's okay. You don't want to throw your time away into a level that's not going to work for you. Especially if it's going to be a frustrating level. maybe it's not even how hard it is, but it's got you off your game. It's in your head, and you need
Yeah.
to be on to something else.
Yeah, I like the aggressive skips for sure. 9 lives left over here for Allie.
Especially if you can make that decision quickly. Like, my normal endless playthroughs, I'm just gonna skip 3D levels. The style doesn't agree with me. I don't like different controls. I'm just gonna skip them in endless and not spend my time there. So if you know there's a style of something you don't want to do, and that may be not a theme of gameplay, but it may be something like a speedrun or a puzzle level that you just don't want to invest your time in. And there's another clear for Dobbs, who is just running up the score here real quick.
He's racking them up now.
Another speedrun here for Allie.
Shaking his head. What in the world does that developer want me to try to do here? Wanting me to do?
You can see that there on Dobbs' side, where again he got that new high score animation I was talking about, so it takes a bit longer to get into these levels, but his clearing has gotten the work done.
Gosh, just this one looks rough on Allie's side. It's only 20 seconds. So if you can, find the first 5, 6, 7 seconds and commit those to muscle memory, like we were talking about before, then you should be able to clear it eventually. But how long is that eventually?
Overall, this
It's already
is
halfway through the level right here.
This is pretty standard for a new soup speedrun level, but you may not necessarily be familiar with most of the text. I say that, and then that Yoshi part is completely different. But there's a lot of shorthand that goes into Mario Maker. The level designers will give you indicators to tell you what they want you to do when they're trying to make it a fair challenge instead of an unfair challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So it was giving him those little half loops, if you will, was telling him that he needed a slow fall. He needed a twirl, that's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Here's another night theme. And in New Super Mario Bros. Night theme, it has this fun effect of, if you're really good at it, you almost will not fall. You'll stay horizontal and just glide across the screen. So it's really fun to play with, but that's finally a clear for Allie. Who
Allie loved that level because he got over those 2 houses. He's like, all right, did I cheat? Is there something else I have to do? And he saw the flag and he's like, what in the heck? It was great.
It's a clear, and he hadn't had one for a while. So it had to feel good.
That level had everything he wanted in it. Ease of play.
He needs 5 unanswered clears against Dobbs. He's got to get a bunch of clears up on the board now. That's a tall order.
Yeah, he needs there to be like a real technical run or something, or a sequence of technical runs that Dobbs decides he wants to do. Oh my gosh. Well, that's not going to be one of them because Dobbs just finishes one jump and in.
I missed. Was that a clear condition of don't touch the ground, perhaps?
I have no idea, but there was like 8 piranha plants. He jumped between them and hopped on the flag, and he's out.
Yeah, that sounds like it would have had a clear condition of don't touch the ground.
Yeah, if I see the name Wiggler Forest Hard, I'm probably skipping. Like right up the bat. That's me, not him.
As weird as it sounds, level makers are really bad at knowing what level of difficulty their own level is.
Oh, really?
Because here's the thing, when you design it, you have a play style, and you've built it according to your play style, you've tested it according to your play style. So what's hard for you, well, maybe that's not hard for another runner. And conversely, you thought it was easy, but you built up that muscle memory when you were clear checking the level. So you played it 50 times, or 20 times, or 5 times, or however many times. But you played it, and you knew exactly what was coming, so it felt easier to you than it would be to someone else.
You can see some of the veteran moves there by Allie, able to recognize exactly what that was trying to have him do there. Now trying to cheese his way into the flag, and he jumps
Oh, no.
over the pole.
Soft-locked himself.
Wow.
So he needed the on-off switch to go the other way. He had gone over it. And if he landed on top of the flagpole, he may have been able to go back, but that was not to be.
Now, the good news is he knows exactly what to do in this level.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I think he went back, even though it's kind of a slow level, is because now he knows the way through and he knows he can get his clear.
Dobbs is still in this Wiggler forest, trying to get through. Proving to be a little nightmare, though.
Allie tried to speedrun his way through it. Does he have a recovery here?
Maybe.
Okay.
Nope.
That works. That part doesn't, though.
Yeah, he did until that very last
pressure on his face. He knows that this is just not what he needs.
And you saw the skill from the first 3 levels that we did, the mushroom and space and jump from Allie. So you know he can do these. He's feeling the pressure, like you said, of being behind and having to do them faster than he probably wants to do them right now.
Again, it's not just that he wants to clear this level, but he's trying to shave seconds off so that he's got those seconds for another level. And that makes it about twice the challenge that it would be otherwise.
Another course clear over there from Dobbs. Dobbs up to 13-8, gets out of the Wiggler forest.
You can see it's no accident that Dobbs has that expert streak that he does. Hit a very compelling number.
Stay on the left side of this now.
It's a good demonstration of why.
Whew.
There's what Allie was trying to do.
He needs to find 5 one-jump levels.
Something like that.
You do a shell jump here? What are we doing?
Well, nothing to be had there. But it was a swag jump anyways. Taking his time here, I think he is gone a little cautious with this lead.
20-second run. If he one-shots it.
Oh, but only 2 lives.
Yeah, that's the issue right now.
I mean, if he game overs, he's probably not even going to be able to start. Yeah, he could start another nice fast enough, but he won't have this level either. He'd be on a completely new cycle.
You kind of wonder how fast this or how tight this timer is.
Well, also there's a clear condition that you have to get every coin. So you could lose to even a small mistake. 2 seconds, 1 second, might get it. Got it!
Nice. 0 on the clock.
That was a hype clear. I don't think he had a half second left. Okay, he had about 9/10 left.
Back in the underground over here.
Yeah, all of 9/10.
Plenty of time.
He's also able to bank a life out of all those coins because he got 100 of them. You play endless enough, you realize that makers are very bad about putting one-ups in the level, but there's a lot of coins in the level, so learning to pick up coins helps you a lot to make runs go deeper. Dobbs with another clear, and he has just taken full control in this round. I mean, we saw a great battle between these two the first 2 rounds, but this endless run, it was just Dobbs' day.
Put the pedal to the metal, did not look back. Once he took the lead, there was just like no question there. But again, the skill is apparent from both these. I mean, this is my first foray into this tournament, and in this level of skill, it's blowing my mind right now. It's great. Both screens.
All right, so by the way, coming up next here on Speed Gaming is going to be Super Mario Odyssey, the triple bingo going on here.
Are we staying up for that?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, you're not pulling me into that one, are you?
No, I'm just letting the people know what's coming up if they're sticking around.
Dude, I'm going to bed. What are you talking about?
We're at the stage where they're trying to keep a lot of hype here for the marathon. This was a lot of fun to attend live last year. Unfortunately, things didn't work out this year, but we're still having a lot of hype here online.
Absolutely.
Let's see if Allie is able to get this clear.
It's a cool level design on Allie's side.
And time is up. So that is going to do it. Dobbs, the number 1 seed coming into this, moves on to the finals. Allie gave us a great effort. He was very competitive. You can see those times there from the first 2 rounds. And I mean, 0.6 of a second, 4 seconds, 2 seconds. Those were very competitive.
Yeah, you take the variance of which levels they got and that type of thing. And you saw Dobbs, the skill was on display for sure at the end. But like you said, the time difference between the levels when they had 30 minutes to play all 3, we're talking mere seconds, within 10% from all 3 of them. It just both competitors played very, very well and a lot of skill on display tonight.
Well, folks, we hope you'll stay tuned for more. There is Super Mario Odyssey coming up next here. Of course, there'll be more Mario, more Zelda, more Final Fantasy, more fun coming up throughout this week here on Speed Gaming. Please enjoy the rest of Speed Gaming Live. Redbird, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks for having me. Good night, guys.